Today we are in Barcelona on Passeig de Gràcia, the city's most famous avenue. Inside one of its landmark buildings, Casa Fuster, there is a small fine dining restaurant called Aleia. This year, Aleia has just been awarded its second Michelin-Star. The tasting menu costs €187 plus 108 for the wine pairing. Why are so many guests, especially from Japan, Korea and China, willing to spend this much to eat here? Tonight, we are going to find out. As soon as the doors open, one detail immediately captures attention: a wavy ceiling made of titanium plates. Its metallic shine and organic shapes evoke Bilbao's Guggenheim museum, as if for a moment the dining room were an underwater wall of reflections and deep silence. At the table, the evening begins with an aperitif. Imagine a white wine from Paradise and a glass of French champagne mark the start of this journey. Then the first bite arrives: a slice of bluefin tuna belly glazed with sakura vinegar, made from Japanese cherry blossoms and finished with a tuna dashi. This broth, prepared with dried tuna flakes and seaweed, wraps the fish in umami. The texture is silky, the pairing precise, the tuna melting effortlessly on the tongue. The wine journey will weave us between three regions: Andalusia, Catalonia and France. Our first stop is Jerez de la Frontera, the chef's beloved hometown, where we start with a special Enrama Palomino Fino, aged between 5 and 15 years and bottled exclusively for the restaurant. And then the second appetizer arrives, bringing oysters from Delta del Ebro, an oyster crowned with a hot radish sauce called Rye Fort, and a touch of exclusive Oscietra caviar. On your palate, the flavors unfold like a gentle story: first shellfish, then caviar, and finally the fresh vegetables. The third appetizer is a plate of red prawns with piriñaca, a traditional dressing from Cádiz made with onion, green pepper and tomato, usually served with fish. The prawn is incredibly fresh, and the piriñaca, perhaps unfamiliar to many guests, feels bright and original. For now, this dish rises to the top of the ranking. Red prawns first, scallop second, tuna third, and at this point of the dinner, happiness is very real. The next dish is one of the chef's masterpieces, scallops with caviar. Here, the true star is a sauce crafted from sweet Figueres onions. In this kitchen, sauces lead the way. Often they dream up the sauce and then pick the perfect ingredient. These scallops come ready to savor in 3 bites, each one providing that the sauce truly carries the dish. The next wine comes from the Alella region, a name that echoes the name of the restaurant. There is something poetic in that connection. This palace was built by the young Mr. Fuster as a wedding gift to his fiancée, the daughter of the Marquis of Alella, a deeply romantic gesture. After this cuvée with its own personality, the kitchen presents what looks like a small work of art, a delicate rose. Hidden in its pistil is serviola, a blue fish from the amberjack family, wrapped in petals made from radish cured in salt and surrounded by an essence of marinated tomato. The broth tastes gentle of tomato, incredibly soft and subtle. The fish perhaps doesn't feel as bright and fresh as those earlier dishes, but the concept still stands out beautifully. Another limited edition wine, La Farruca, helps reveal the chef's philosophy, a loving and personal take on Andalusian and Catalan roots. And finally, a hot dish arrives, a flan with grilled mushrooms, smoked eel, melon, and a rich Iberian consommé of ham and manzanilla wine. It's a deep, smoky, comforting combination that quickly becomes the second favorite dish of the evening. They change the cutlery and then serve 2 exceptional olive oils alongside 2 artisan breads, a slow fermented sourdough, pas de pagès, and a soft fluffy southern mollete. In the center, a creamy bone marrow infused with garlic, parsley and nuts, flanked by 3 house-made butters: Iberian ham, roasted tomato, and a matured butter with blue cheese notes. It's easy to imagine why this would be a favorite among many Asian guests. The herb oil is intense and aromatic. Something as simple as bread and oil becomes a moment of pure pleasure. The tomato butter feels more like a mousse than a traditional butter, light and airy, while the matured butter leans into a more classic buttery richness. So the next wine is a French classic, a Vin Jaune from Côte d'Azur. It's made entirely with Sauvignon grapes. What's cool about it is that's got this lively acidity and it can age for decades without losing freshness. The fourth main course is charcoal grilled Norway lobster, served with a French beurre blanc. The lobster is excellent and it is served quite undercooked. By now the table has explored a wide variety of wines. wines. And it's time for Lumiere. This project, created by two winemakers, Muchada and Leclapart, uses 30 years old Palomino Fino vines in Cádiz, seeking the warmth and light of the Spanish sun. Lumiere is paired with charcoal roasted snapper, mussel, salmon roe, and a sauce inspired by gazpachuelo malagueño, a traditional stew from Malaga. The top of the fish is perfectly crispy, while the inside remains juicy and slightly underdone. Then comes the meat course, a highlight for many diners, venison from Janda, accompanied by a powerful red wine. The sauce shines even more than the meat itself, and the carrots are delicious. With this, the journey through the main savory dishes is complete, from the serviola roast to the Iberian flan, the bread course, the grilled lobster, the snapper, and finally the venison from La Janda. Now we understand why Asian guests love this place. Desserts show up with a sweet wine called Noctiluca. On the nose it brings notes of fresh grass and white flowers. On the palate it's intense and creamy. As a pre-dessert, the kitchen offers the peach mousse with cream, ice cream, and a touch of caviar to add salinity. It's an unusual combination, not very sweet. The small peach cream spheres are soft and delicate, contrasting sharply with the caviar. On the table now stands the 10 glasses that form the wine pairing. The next dessert, La Morenita, is paired with a traditional Catalan sweet, meli mató, reimagined by the chef. He presents a creamy mató flan sweetened with sweet potato cream and finished with crisp walnut twills. The sweet potato is exquisite, rounding the dessert with natural sweetness and warmth. Behind each dessert there's a little story. In the next one we find the flavors of a classic Catalan Catania reimagined in a modern chocolate tart. They use 70% Ecuadorian chocolate, some praline, and a bit of ice cream and a touch of almond oil. So after those three desserts, the evening wraps up with some lovely petits for serve alongside coffee. You've got flavors like bitter orange, piña colada, lemon pie, white chocolate with strawberry, and dark chocolate with dulce de leche and vanilla. Each bite is just a perfect farewell to end the night on a sweet note. The check arrives at the table. The total climbs to €541.50. Why then is Aleia so beloved by Asian guests? Because here European hot cuisine is served with the precision and attentiveness of a Japanese-style service, perfectionist, discreet, and deeply courteous. Because the dining room is intimate and quiet with only a few seats, creating an exclusive, almost whisper experience in the middle of one of Barcelona's busiest avenues. And because the Michelin Guide has just awarded Aleia a second star. Service at Aleia is impeccably professional. In the dining room, Paula's work stands out. It's a place that without a doubt, it's worth the journey. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to enjoy.